before we go, I'm going to show you some of these figs here. You can see. So there's another couple of figs that we harvested from our garden, and I was just checking if it's ready, and you can feel them when they're soft. And look at that colour, that's a brown turkey, that's the name of it. Somebody here likes figs. Here, do you want that?
It's like a heart, look.
Yeah, you can actually eat the skin as well, but you don't have to. It's good now.
I'm gonna say I like the skin. I like the skin.
You like eating the whole lot? Okay, good man. How are you doing? This is Martin from Gardens for Life. So we haven't done an owl vlog update or actually a tour of our new garden, which is in the background here, for a few weeks now. Please give us a quick thumbs up if you don't mind, because it'll get the video to more people. Thanks a million. We've been fierce busy making videos for our No Dig online course. We'll be uploading all the videos over the next few weeks, so the early bird deal is still on the sale, where you get it for $49 instead of $69, so please have a look at our website if you're interested. Once the course is complete and it goes up, it'll go up to the full price. We also have the homesteading workshop day actually coming up. The first date is already booked out. The second one is almost booked out. There's only a couple of spaces left for the 13th of November, and after that it'll be the 27th of November if you want to come to Roscommon and learn all about homesteading. We'll basically just talk about how to grow food, how to preserve it, how to keep chickens for eggs, some household and herbal remedies, a little bit about backup power and backup lights for your house. And the last one is home brewing, how to make your own country wine and beer and cider as well. If you're interested in one of the workshops, just go to our website and you can book the tickets from there. Let us know if you have any questions or if you need any help. So this is the middle of October now. It's about 2.5 months after planting it up. Admittedly, we have not spent a lot of time here in this garden. I've spent almost no time at all maintaining it, so there is a bit of grass popping through in places, and I still haven't picked up those sheets of plastic that are a bit like patches, and those were just there to cover the grass that was popping through, just to make my life a little bit easier. But it does take a few months for it to smother the grass as well. But other than that, the garden is super productive and we're very happy with the results so far. We'll definitely have some chard for ourselves and for all of our animals, our chickens and rabbits, for the winter. Unfortunately, the cats won't eat chard. Yes, let's take a look around. This is basically the entrance right here, and this is the pizza garden right next to our new garden back here. So you can see the purple tree spinach is now going to seed. I'll show you that. And we'll be collecting the seeds from those, and we'll be handing those out at our upcoming seed swaps. We probably will have to chop it back a little bit just on this side, because we don't want a whole 1/8 of an acre of purple tree spinach next year. So be careful, it does have seed and that's fine, but as long as you contain it somewhat by simply chopping it back, the chickens love to eat it, and so do we. And so you can see here we have a mixture of things. Actually, these are some pineapple sage cuttings that I stuck in the ground a couple of months ago, and you can see they've taken. I'm delighted with that now. So those could be planted directly. There's a marshmallow plant here. There's a few of them actually. This is actually a beautiful plant. This is a yacon, a white yacon. You can see the leaves look quite tropical, but first frost now, that's going to recede back to the ground, and then we can dig up the tubers. You can see the path here has gotten a little bit mucky. We still haven't put down wood chips. It seems a bit difficult to get wood chips these days, but we'll make a few phone calls. This is comfrey. This started off as a small little plant, maybe about that size, and it's now just about 10 times that size after only about a couple of months. We always interplant thyme because it's such a healthy culinary herb to have, but also it's really good for the wildlife because it flowers for a long period of time. Same as the feverfew right here. So overall, you can see this is one of the patches that we had put down. We can have a look underneath actually. Let's see, be interesting. Yeah, you can see, whoops, there was a couple of onions. They'll come back again. But you can see the grass has definitely receded. So I can actually take that plastic off now. I will do that later on. And I'll have to remove some of the other bits of grass right here. Oh, I must actually walk over here and show you the wood mallow. We don't actually sell those in our shop anymore as potted plants. Simply because they're a bit flimsy when they're in a pot, unless you plant them out straight away. But aren't they beautiful? Those flowers are edible. They're a bit like hibiscus, but not quite as sweet. And the leaves are edible too. Make for a nice salad green. Of course, the younger leaves, especially in the first half of the summer, would be ideal. This is Taunton Dean kale. Takes off so quick. Well, we planted these here as 2-litre plants, and they've already gotten huge. You can see there's a few pumpkins here. Even the beetroots are ideal for greens, even for the chickens and for the rabbits. But then we can eat the tuber or the bulb. See, things like this, if I see a leaf on the ground, I simply harvest it. Or sorry, if it's on the pat, that is. And then I free up the pat and I get some chicken food or rabbit food in the process. We leave that right here. You can see the pat does get a little bit weedy. If we had covered it in wood chips, it would have been better. But this is just where the digger was scraping originally, and it didn't quite get all the grass roots. The only reason why we did actually, you can see the grass right here. The only reason why we had kept the grass in the middle section here of this garden, basically right along here, is because we wanted him to be able to drive in with the compost, the tractor and trailer, just so he doesn't make muck here basically in the middle section until he has all the compost in. But the rest of it turned out pretty much weed free, so we're very happy about that. I show you the pumpkins here. Those were planted very late, and there's a few. They're not huge, but you know, not bad. Those would be nice. And even if the ones that don't ripen, don't make it before if they don't go orange basically before the frost, we're just going to harvest them anyway and use them like a courgette. This area here was just basically where we had dumped all of our briars for about 5 years now, and we're happy enough to have anything at all grown here. We thought we'd have to cover it with plastic even in the first year of cultivating it because there was loads of nettle roots down below as well. So they have not come true yet. They might come true next year. See leeks as well. Here's some leeks. Those are really nice. They take a long time to grow though. Beetroots are relatively quick to grow. This is one of my favourite varieties actually. It's called Cylindra. And then there's also another variety. Where is it? Here it is, Shiogyo. It's like a pink and white stripy one when you cut it open. We planted some rhubarb in between too. We might keep some of those plants, but the idea is to actually just grow them on for half a growing season, and then we can take those up and use them elsewhere or sell them on our website. You can see we do have a bit of red Russian kale here and a bit of Siberian kale. It's starting to rain. Oh well. We'll come back to the garden in a minute when it stops again. The rain isn't that bad. So I've just moved under this ash tree here. You can see we actually took the ivy off it. Well, it hasn't quite come off yet, but we have actually just ringed it at the bottom. You can see ivy is good for the birds in the winter and good for a bit of extra shelter. However, we don't want it right next to our garden because ivy does throw seeds down on your garden, and we've been weeding a lot of ivy seedlings already in other places, but we do have ivy grown on other trees around the place. You can see it over there. So I mean, after all, we call our place Birdland Cottage, so we do want to feed the birds year round to keep them around because they help tremendously with pest control. You can see the leaves are kind of dropping on top of the bed here, but that's okay. Those will actually mulch the garden beds a little bit over the winter. Celery has grown very nicely. Be really nice to have that now for the winter for soups. Bit of kohlrabi, a few bits and pieces. Here's lemon balm. Those are actually grown here as plants, so I might dig those up again. The Egyptian walking onion is here. So those are only young plants. Next year they'll make bulblets in the top. And the dahlias. Those dahlias have only gone in as little plants, and those will be available on our website as crowns. Got a few carrots here. Let's take a look at these. Oh, it stopped raining again. Nice. Well, you know, those carrots are not big yet, but they might grow bigger yet before the end of the growing season. The chard is actually really nice. It grew very quickly. The rainbow chard is the variety pack that we got. And isn't it just beautiful? So many different colours, especially the red and yellow. It's an abundant vegetable, even though the leaves are a little flimsy, I always say to people. They are very frost hardy, and you can, same as kale actually, you can keep those out in the winter, even during the frost. And you can harvest, even the rougher leaves can go to the animals as well. So these are some yacons again. There is a red and white yacon. If anyone's looking for yacon starts, they're still available on our website. Definitely get those ordered early because they always sell out every year. Here's an American elder tree that's just starting up. I love American elder. I just made 3 gallons of wine with American elder and Glaston's perpetual rhubarb, which can be harvested this time of year. And it's actually turned out very pink, the wine has. So hopefully it'll turn out well. We'll see. So these sheets of plastic here can be taken away now. And we'll plant something there. I don't actually have anything to plant. Might just throw in a few potted plants, maybe a few herbs. I want to show you here's another patch of lemon balm. I do want to show you the oxalis. It's a lovely vegetable. It's a leafy kind of vegetable. You can add it to a salad. And those are propagated by the roots, or there's either scales or bulbs underneath, depending on the variety. Here you can see the 2 different varieties of oxalis, the iron cross and the triangularis. Few spuds that we grew on the fly, which was they were only planted at the end of July, I think it was, and let's see how they turn out. It'd be a nice, interesting experiment. They're a little bit sheltered by these trees here, so maybe they'll make it to the first frost. Does anyone here know when should I harvest these? I guess when the leaves have wilted is probably the best time. I don't see much of a sign of blight anyway. We never usually get blight anyway in our gardens. We also have a bit more thyme here. I don't know, we're always stuck for thyme, but at the same time we're growing loads of it. Definitely a great herb for the lungs and for many other things in the body, many benefits. This is Portuguese kale. It's perennial, of course, so that was grown from seed. And those are a few elderberries in the background. And here's a bit of seeded red Russian kale. It's just a little experiment. I just threw down a seed mix and let's see what develops of it. Obviously the red Russian kale grows the fastest and germinates the fastest too. That was actually a seed from our other garden, so we wanted to get that out here as well. So that'll be the 4th generation now of it, because it's self-seeded every year for the last 4 years. A little bit of celery. There's the grave of our cat. Unfortunately, Schnapper passed away. Some of you probably remember him from the earlier videos, the black and white cat. It was a great cat. He'll always be with us. I wanted to show you another thing here. This is some orphery. You see the ones that look like leeks? I just planted those here not long ago, maybe also 2.5 months ago, 2 months ago I'd say, and they're doing very well. And you can see there is still a bit of weeding to do here, some grasses and some nettles that are coming through, but it's not a big deal. I'm going to get to it, and it's just that there are other jobs that have priority at the moment, like the No Dig online course and the homesteading workshop days. And of course then there's going to be the big tuber harvest, which is coming soon. What do you think this is? This is an ocean of kale, actually Sutherland kale, mixed in with Siberian white kale. So these plants have gone to seed here last year, and you can see they definitely have spread, and we got a big bag of seed out of it too. We're definitely sharing those with you any opportunity we can get, especially at the seed swaps. If you're interested in a seed swap, please let us know in the comments below, and the more people ask for it, the quicker we'll put one on, because it does take time as well. The raspberries, you can see them over here. They're just about finishing now, still fruiting a bit. But so far we're very happy with what production we got out of this garden, because we've only started it very late in the year. It was only done mid-July, I think it was, and then planted up within 2 weeks. Now, of course we had all the plants ready to go, but still we weren't expecting much out of it, but I'm definitely delighted with the results. A little bit of red Russian kale here too. Never have too much of it, especially when you have chickens and rabbits, because they love kale and chard. If we're keeping them, we might as well give them the best food we can possibly give them. I want to just show you something here in the pizza garden. You can see here we need to cover this with cardboard, this grass, because it'll only spread by root rhizomes and by seed, of course. The chickens are taking care of this side, but here we're making a new insect pile because we really desperately needed one right in the middle of the garden, just so we can reach from the pizza garden to here to throw any branches or offcuts or any bits of any weeds and brush that we can just throw directly on the pile. And it also is accessible from this part of the garden, the new garden as well. Oh yeah, we have German chamomile, I forgot to show you that. This one here. I couldn't find German chamomile as a tea on the internet, at least not in bulk, because that's the way we like to buy tea. So we're growing some of it now. Fresh herbs are always better than dried herbs, but dried herbs are better than no herbs. This is actually some minot sunflower has fallen over. So this is some Nero, actually it's a variety of Nero. It's black magic, and it's growing slowly but surely. Hopefully it'll take off yet. That was planted here maybe 3 weeks ago, so mid-September-ish. You can see these kind of berry bushes here. They're not weeds, we're actually keeping those. We'll see which ones actually make a nice berry, and then we'll take cuttings off it. Those were grown from seed. You can see the great mulleins have finished now, so those can be harvested. I'm going to harvest those actually before the rain now, and I might hang them up in the greenhouse just to get the seeds out. And there's so many of them, and majestic they are. That's about 3 meters tall. It's way taller than I am anyway. You can see how the leaves kind of have receded. So this is a bit of matador spinach that I planted here also 3 weeks ago, but it's going to seed. Don't ask me why. Maybe I didn't get the timing right. Here's a rather ambitious Great Mullen plant. It's trying to go to flower, but it didn't realise that the winter is coming. So I'd say it'll be okay until next year though. It'll come back next year. Check out all these mushrooms here. I think that's shaggy inkcap, but I'm not sure. I definitely wouldn't eat it, because I'm not an expert on mushrooms by any means. We do grow King Strafari alright, but I can recognise it, and it's a culinary mushroom. There's still some raspberries here, as you can see here. It's another little perennial garden edging onto the pizza garden, which is always nice. Here's an apple tree that's finally appled for the first time in the last 4 years now. Let me give one of those a try actually. They're not bad looking. Yeah, it came off fairly easily. Now normally I wouldn't be pulling the apples off the tree. Normally if they fall, that's when you know they're ready. Let's give that a try. Yeah, nearly ready. Not bad. This is our chocolate mint, which is a fantastic mint for tea, even just to nibble on when you're out in the garden. Gives you a nice fresh breath, and it's refreshing. We even made a wine with it too. Let's see what that turns out like. Here's some of our golden red willow. Especially in the winter time, it's really nice to have a bit of colour in the garden. But that's almost sold out if you're looking for some. It usually sells out in the first few weeks of our pre-sale. And we have a ton of fennel seeds here. Need to collect some of those. These are ready to go. You can see they're gone dry, and these ones are not ripe yet. They're still green. Here you can see this is actually an American elder tree. This is the Florida variety, and it's grown very tall. We're going to chop it back for cuttings and make it bush out a bit more, make it a bit more wind resistant. But I want to show you, there's actually flowers up here. It's flowering already. It's flowering a bit later than, if I can reach that, it's flowering a bit later than the other variety of American elder we've got. But nevertheless, it's really nice to have extra elder flowers later in the season, because it extends your harvest time. Found a good raspberry. Check for insects. Oh, so much better than what you get in the shop because it's fresh. Even if fruits actually spend 3 days being transported from the farm to you through the supermarket transport system and all the rest, they're never going to be as fresh. Any food in the shop's never going to be as fresh as what you get from your garden. So grow your own food, grow your own medicine. If you enjoyed this, please give us a thumbs up and let us know what you think in the comments below. And if you're interested in any kind of tubers or plants or cuttings or willows, for example, please take a look at our website. I'll put a link below. And we have workshop days for homesteading coming up as well. So definitely check those out and have a look at our no-dig online course as well, if you're interested. And as I said, there's still a discount available on the online course because it's not quite finished yet. Thanks a million for watching, and we'll see you the next time. Bye bye. Don't forget, we've got these bird houses for sale on our website too. We make them ourselves. Give a bird a home this winter.